So whenever we join any company as a data engineer, the very first thing that comes in mind, how to move the data from point A to point B. But how is this data getting generated in the very first place? So in this video, we are going to discuss in detail about what is an application and how the data gets generated through the application. So to get the full value of this video, please continue till the end. Let's get started. So as a data engineer, you will be dealing with the data day in and day out. Okay. So as discussed, we deal with the data, but how is this data getting generated in the very first place? Okay. So I have created a simple application. We'll just go through the application, okay, just to see how the data gets created in the very first place. Okay. So let me just open the URL of the application. Okay. So it's just a simple application which is prepared only for the demo purpose. Okay. So in this, we have three options. You have customers, you have products, and then you have orders. Okay. So if I just say like I just open customers, and I have a list of all the customers. Okay. So here, in case if you want to add any new customers, you can do it. Okay. So let me just type something CV underscore first name and CV underscore last name. You can give any name. Okay. And if I just use some random mail ID and click on add customer. Okay. So it shows this particular customer, whatever I tried adding. So it is showing that in this table. Okay. So let me show one more thing. Okay. So I am able to see it on the UI. Okay. In the browser, I am able to see it. Okay. So what is happening is this particular customer is getting saved into a database table. Okay. So don't worry. Okay. We'll just see if the new customer which we tried adding, if we are able to find it or not. So let me just go to this particular database, and this is the table. Okay. So if we just do say select star from this particular table. Okay. So this is the new customer which I tried adding. Okay. So this got added now, and we are also able to see it on the UI. Okay. So we are also able to see it here in this particular table. Okay. So in case if you want, you can just go back and then again come back to this page. You will still be able to see this particular customer. Okay. So what just happened is, let me just go to the whiteboard. Okay. So what we did was we just opened a particular browser and we opened the URL. Okay. And we filled up a particular customer detail. It got saved in the database. Okay. So how did this even happen? Okay. So basically in between we have something called as an application. Okay. So let me just give a brief breakdown of what this application is composed of. Okay. So usually any given application, you will be having something called as a front end. You will be having a back end, and then you'll be having a database. Okay. So you need to save the data, whatever data you have, you should be saving it somewhere. Okay. So this is broadly how any given application will be structured. Okay. You will be having a front end, you'll be having a back end, and then you'll be having a database. Okay. So this is for storage. So this is what will be shown on the browser. Okay. So whenever you open any kind of a website or anything, okay, like I just tried opening HTTP 127 something, you can just try opening amazon.com or anything. Okay. So what will happen? You will get a page on the browser. Okay. So that is nothing but the front end of the application. And whenever the front end opens on the browser, okay, you can fill up whatever details you want. I mean, just say like you have opened amazon.com. Okay. Let me just do one thing. So let me just open amazon.com. Okay. So this is how it looks. Okay. So if you want, if you are a new customer, you can sign up, or in case if you are an existing customer, you can sign in. Okay. So if you are a new customer, you can sign up, and again you'll have to give username, first name, last name, email ID, all those details. Okay, so just like we gave all the details in this page, the same way you'll have to give the details in the sign up page. Okay, so once you click on the submit button, that information through the backend will be saved in the database. Okay, the exact same flow, whatever flow we have in this simple application, any given application on the internet will follow the same flow. Okay, so you have this particular front end. Whenever you try to enter any details, it will go to the backend. Through the backend, it will get saved in the database. Okay, so let me just show, I mean, for this particular application itself, I'll just show, okay, like how the code is structured. Okay, just, I mean, you don't have to understand each and every line of code in this particular application, but just on a high level, I'll just show how this is structured. Okay, so as I said before, you will be, I mean, this is the application. Through this particular, we are able to get this particular page basically. Okay, so let me just show the front end. Let me go back to the code. Okay, so this is how the code looks. In this code, okay, so if we just go to this templates, you have all these HTML files. Okay, so this is my front end basically. Okay, so here you have all the options. Okay, like you can enter any first name, last name, click on submit button. Okay, so this is how the front end looks. Whenever you try to click on the submit button, it will go to the back end. Okay, so this is the back end code. So whatever we have under this is the front end, and this is the back end logic basically. Okay, so whenever we try to add any new customer, right, so it just goes to this, and it will get saved in the database basically. Okay, and also if you just see here, once it gets saved in the database, okay, you just click on this add customer, it will get saved in the database. Also it is showing the customer here. Okay, so what will happen, whatever data you have in the database, everything is fetched and it is shown on the front end. Okay, let me just go back to this code. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Whenever you try to fill up the first name, last name, email ID, and when you try to click on save, okay, so what will happen, it will just try to save that particular details in the database. Okay, so apart from saving, whatever customers are there in the database table, everything it will try to fetch, and it will try to return it back to this particular front end. Okay, so there is a table here. If you just see here, so this is the table basically. Okay, so here whatever details we have in the database table, everything will get displayed. Okay, I mean, as I said before, you don't have to understand how HTML works or how this particular logic works. Okay, I'm just giving details on a high level so that you understand the flow, how this is working. Okay, so this is just a simple application. Okay, but any given application, okay, it can be any application you open on the internet. Okay, you will be having a front end, you can fill up any details, those details will get saved in the back end. I mean, through the back end it will get saved in the database. Okay, so that is how through the application the data will be saved in the database. Okay, so let me show one more thing. Okay, so this is how broadly almost all the applications work. Okay, so it can be on the internet, or it can be an Android app, it can be an iOS app, it can be literally everything. Okay, so any given application, as I said before, will be having a front end. Okay, so whatever is user facing, right, the page, so that is the front end basically. Okay, and whatever inputs the user gives, okay, so that will go to the back end. Through the back end, it will get saved in a particular database. Okay, it can be something like a MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle. Okay, so we have plenty of database. based on whatever stack they have chosen, they can use whatever database they want for storing the data. Okay. And this is how each of these, say if we just have a web application, usually it is accessed through the browser. Okay. So if we have something like an Android app, okay, then you'll have to go to the Play Store, you'll have to download it, and that application will get downloaded in your mobile. And through that again, that will again have a front end. Whenever you try to say, like you open Amazon on your mobile, you try to place any order. Okay. So that will go through the back end and all the data will get saved in the database. Okay. So this is how any given application, so whatever applications we have, okay, it can be in the internet or in your mobile. Okay. So any kind of application will be having a front end, back end, and a database. Okay. So through this, the data will get created and all those data will get saved in the database. Okay. So that's all for this video. In the upcoming video, okay, in our case, we just saw a simple application. Okay. So this, if you just see, this is a pretty simple application. Okay. So you have a simple page wherein you are just able to fill up a few details and you are able to click on the add button. Okay. So this is fine. This is fine for demo. Okay. But if we just look at this Amazon.com, there are plenty of things which are happening in this. Okay. So you need to place an order and then you need to make the payment and then you will be getting a mail. Okay. There are plenty of things which are happening. Okay. So so the main question which might come up is, like, are all these things a part of a single application, or do we have multiple applications for handling the entire flow? Okay. So that we'll cover it in the upcoming video. That's all for this video. Thank you.